Peace family. We're going to analyze the transatlantic slave trade construct, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to find out that they created all his stories, okay? And none of that makes any sense because it was all fabricated. And, you know, through the resets and the reprogramming of populations. Okay, that's why they call it colonization. You know what I'm saying? Because they were in the process of colonizing the mind. You understand that? So here we see them telling you that the whites were enslaving Negroes all over the world. They were trading them, they were selling them to each other, they were bringing them to Europe. The Negroes didn't know nothing. The Negroes didn't have no weapons to defend themselves or nothing. They were kidnapped and brought to the jungles, to the to the white man road, as they claim. You know what I'm saying? They gave you these roads that, you know, every Negro came from Africa to everywhere else. Don't you see something wrong with that? Hmm? They telling you that they repopulated Brazil, they repopulated America with all these niggers that they were selling back and forth to, well, they were sending them to Europe, to Portugal as well. They were sending them mostly to the Americas. That's what they claim. And they claim that all these niggers, African Americans, they all came from Africa. People, do you believe that? Don't you see there's something wrong with that? That these niggers are totally destitute, man, and they are sitting around in Brazil, and only this white man that came recently have all the resources, and he keeps them in slavery. They work for him. He owns all the lands and everything. But one thing he's not gonna miss is putting his church back there. See this church over there? You see that? You see the church over there? That's who was doing this. This who's been writing these historical events, if you don't know. And as you can see, there are roads. Yeah. You got Russia, you got Asia, you got China, you got India, you got Europe and Ottoman Empire. Dutch Republic, Sweden. All these people just appeared in the history. And the history starts in, okay, let's say, they say 1400s, but I don't believe that. It started in 1700s, okay? So you got them claiming that they got all these niggas out of Africa, all over the world. It's a fake history they sell on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's all religious stories that they sell to you, that the niggas was damned. They will pack them like, you know, sardine cans in a boat and bring them to America in this boat, dirty, shitting over each other and everything. You know what I'm saying? No shower, no food, no nothing. The nigga is months there sitting and eating shit on top of each other and everything. And then they get to America, people. But no recognition of who these niggas are. They say they have 1400s, all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? 15, 1450 to 1750. That's all. That's all stories, man. That never ever happened. Then you got this slave roads, man, which is the biggest lie that they can ever tell you. Yeah, that all these movement from Africa, of Negroes from Africa to South America and North America, and some of them to Europe. Only 3 million went to Europe. People, can you explain that? How can you explain that only 3 million Negroes went to Europe in that section, right? You got 5 million Negroes going to North America, got 4.5 million Negroes going to what, West Indies, Central America, all these Negroes repopulating America, all these African Negroes, really? Carthagene, they repopulate all over all sides of. They show that South America from one side to another. They took it all over with slave Negroes that were working in the so-called sugarcane and cotton, whatever, man. And but how the hell these people owned all these lands all of a sudden and owned all these Negroes? That's what they're not explaining to you. How they came to be all of a sudden, yeah. And they became masters, telling you all the roads, telling you the first time they went to that was the travel was made from Europe to Africa. The first time that they went to India, uh, so-called, is it Pedro Vasco da Gama, you know what I'm saying, and Pedro Alves Cabral, that claimed these dudes went to India, all the way around Africa and everything for the first time. The Negroes didn't know shit. The African Negroes didn't have boats. They were not traveling. They were not enslaving nobody. They were not enslaving the Slavs or nothing. The African was totally stupid and just sitting there in Africa, waiting for these aliens to come in and fill up their ships with Negroes. And they tell you that they did the most violent, bizarre, you know, aristocratic slavery going on. Yeah, of these African Negroes that didn't know the land, but they were taking slaves and beaten up, and here they are, just chopping the sugar cane and working like a nigger, and giving his slave master all the profit for, why they treat him like that, they claim. They bought these niggers in Africa. You see, you got niggers over here, African niggers selling other African niggers to the white man, to the slave master, and aliens and other aliens that came from the other side. So they were selling their own people. That's the story, his story that he's giving you, that niggers were stupid to the point of selling their own people to other invading nations to empower them. You know what I'm saying? They were stupid enough. And you see them doing it today, you know what I'm saying, by regurgitating these same, artificial events of his stories and make it real in all these nations in Africa. You know what I'm saying? They all believe that. All the kids, that's what they teach them. You know? They teach them these lies. That the niggers were totally ignorant, yeah. And all this stuff, the lies that they sell. They didn't know nothing. They didn't have no weapons to defend themselves. They were slaves, and they had the white man remote controlling another Negro to beat another Negro and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they do today on YouTube with all these Pan-Africanists. The Pan-Africanist is the one whipping him, beating him up, and the one in the cross is the religious Negroes that believe in them. That's how they end up. They get juiced. you know. But, you know, it's a story that you know is a fantasy. These African niggas, bro, you see that? They were so stupid and treated them like animals to build an empire over slaves. Look, he's killing one down there because he doesn't want to walk, and he's begging for his life. They teach the Africans they weak, and the whole history was slavery. They never did nothing great. There was nothing built until these aliens came in and domesticated them. They were beasts, that's what they tell you. So therefore they created all these sports, okay? They created all these famous ports that they teach you in their history, where the slaves have been taken, okay? And I believe there were movements of slaves, but not what they tell you at all. Yeah, they're taking millions of niggers to America. It's all bullshit, okay? They never did that. I'm telling you that there were no niggers in America, and all these niggers went there from Africa, and even before the white man and this and that, they were all African. It's all bullshit they sell on you. Yeah, because nothing makes sense in their history. And if you analyze the stories that they tell you, it's easy to spot. Because it's full of empty gaps. That's starting from the chronology. It's all wrong, telling you 1400 they were doing this. Get out of here. There's no way. Yeah. Meantime, what's this? The European slave trade. Here we go. You got the Negro sitting there, praising his master. They brought 3 million Negroes to Europe, they claim, and wash his feet, carry him around. You see that? A creature that came just, recently, and they're telling me these Negroes were there for thousands, been here forever. And that was their state when these dudes came, and these dudes had more power than them. And these niggas were all, dusties, with no shoe, walking around, you know what I'm saying? And they made the most of it, they claim. That's how it was. But it's all fabricated reality. Fabricated images, AI, fabricated images. That's why they had AI. To you is a new thing, not to them. How do you think they split the role and make all these maps and all that stuff? They're using AI on you. Way back. And they're just telling you they have AI now. After they, created the whole history. Using AI. And they want to give you this image that niggas were just dumb savages living in the woods, planting and making money for their slave masters, man. That they didn't know nothing, they didn't build nothing. With all the money that they were getting, they don't show you what they built, other than these empires of nothing. They didn't build nothing in these empires. The houses is all cheap stuff. And the only glory there is the old stuff the ancestors built. They don't build shit. Yeah. Here we go. African history. Negro beating Negro. Very typical in their calendar. Yeah. It's all a fabrication, people. They want to convince you of slave stories. That these niggas were dumb and could not have done nothing until these invaders came and just took them by surprise and enslaved them. How do you explain that? They hide in your history. They hide in the resets. What happened to these niggers back there in Africa? How they reset them, smoke them. And when these people came, there were nobody there anyway. Other than few niggers that were left probably. And they created the whole history using some of them. But we know that the niggers know better than the savagery that they teach you. And then they tell you they were transporting these niggers in these boats. You see that? How they lie. They had these niggers tied up all around for months, crossing the sea, people. It doesn't get any better. It's a lies, people. Look, Brazil, land of Negroes. South America, North America, all land of Negroes. Before these people even show up, there were already Negroes in there with empires, with massive castles, and God knows what. Oh. Don't say God. It's a devil word. Okay. Then they gave you abolition of colonial slavery antidote because they got that's the abolition of slavery, colonialism, which is the slavery that you are being inflicted with, which is mind slavery. Yeah, it's governed mind slavery. They imprinted on you with all this programming that you are a slave and a loser. So they made you a loser and a slave and an ignorant that don't know his history. I'm talking to these Africans that think they, know something about America and African Americans that claim to be African Americans. They don't know nothing, no. Yeah. How the hell you end up in this? You're gonna believe this slave master telling you what you are, where you came from, what you do, and everything, naming you and everything. Yeah. And then claiming that he is your master. That's what you're doing when you accept this history. You're claiming that there is real. There is a real story. That's the truth. No, you're hiding the the so-called original stories, giving them artificial stories of slavery, and telling them that they were always losers, and they can't achieve nothing but war, like the invaders, become warmongers. That's why you see in Africa all this programming, what it resulted in, religious warmongering. The whole Africa fighting each other from north to south, you know what I'm saying? It's a hatred. There's hybrids in there, there's implants in there, there's Nephilims in there. They create division, you know what I'm saying? That's why they gave you a flag. Because a flag prevents you from being one, prevents you from building the Tower of Babel. They fear that. That's what I find out, that's the allegory they use in the script about the Tower of Babel that Nimrod was building, and Esau killed him. How they tell you in their own book script that, which means Nimrod was the originals, and he was building the dam. They had these massive buildings that they can build today, and Esau, the Yahweh's son, you know what I'm saying? He killed him. He was an invader. So he had to start from Nimrod. That's why they tell you the story of Nimrod, the great king that was destroyed by this character that came out of nowhere. Esau, son of Yahweh, Esau, you know the story. Esau and Jacob in the cube come in. They are the aliens, fallen angels, and they kill Nimrod and kill his whole entire city, man. They flood the whole damn place. You know what I'm saying? So all them technological kings that were there, so they show Negro kings in there. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? Pre-colonial Africa. So that's like a, this doesn't look good, man. This looks like a damn clowning of these niggas. Yeah, because how the hell you are a king, naked around, and what's going on here? No shoe, no nothing, and you're a king, and then you got pre-colonial Africa. What are you saying? That you have this new cameras telling you what the pre-colonial Africa was like. Can you believe that? These Africans don't have no history of themselves back there to tell you, or documents, or nothing. No evidence of nothing, because everything was totally, it seems, was totally destroyed by the wave weapons of mass destruction and resets. They were all resetted. So now the invader gave you this story that these silly Negroes were all naked, all half naked, man, but they were kings. Are you kidding me? That's how they just came in and enslaved them, because they didn't even have weapons to defend themselves or not. They were ignorant Negroes, and the invaders just came and took them and did whatever the hell they want. That's what they want you to believe, because they're giving you all the facts. They're giving you all the stories. You're not digging up your own past. Yeah, with eyes to see. When you see something like that, man, piss me off, because they made this shit up. What else? Got all these fabrications of white trade. Yeah, white trade. What the hell are they trading people for? What? All over the world, to Australia, to Africa, to America, to Russia, all the way up there. They trading Negroes of all types. Can you believe that? Then they show you some you know, odd paintings made by AI, trying to fool you. None of this is real. Odd paintings of controllers, of aliens. They're the ones droning all these, because they got to colonize you. This colonized material. And when you see this thing without soul, without Portuguese restoration, why the Portuguese restoration? Well, Portuguese, man, it's all being revealed already. What they really did and what they didn't. Okay, they did everything that the papacy were telling them to do. Portuguese, Spanish, just like today. It's the same thing. Look, you do. You got they got all these organizations out there, no? NATO, you name it, man. And but this was one organization that was under the control of the Rome. So Rome was telling Portugal and Spain everything what to do. They were rewriting history. And there was no authority above all these kings of Spain, Portugal, are all slaves to Rome. Don't forget that. And even some of them, you see them trying to fight with the Vatican to get their freedom back there. You know what I'm saying? They tried to fight, but what happened? They never got free. The whole Europe is the same. They never get free from the Church of Rome. It's the church that controls all of them and wrote this history, put these images over there, telling you these niggas are all damn slaves. Their land, they have no connection with the land. They claim all the buildings in the land, and they say that these niggas were all slaves, sold and commercialized. They have no brains. They are less. They are humans. Don't forget that. They tell you that the African Negroes, African American Negroes, are humans. This means they're beasts and they have no soul. Okay, so they don't attribute nothing glorious to them. There's nothing glorious about these African Negroes. The whole history, they painted that they were fucking slaves. That's all they did. They never built nothing in the earth. They were of no contribution, of nothing, other than be slaves. See that? Always begging his slave master for a juice. Ain't that something? Here he is begging his slave master like today for a juice. We want Jesus. Yeah. 1 minute they came fighting, right? They had a cannon and everything, these niggas, all that. With no shoe or nothing still. No shoe. But they were trying to, was some type of African kingdom. Look how they were dressed, people. They had no shoe. They just had nothing. There's something covering them sexual organs. I mean, sexual parts. And that's that. That one must be the king. Is there begging. He's got something in his back, like I don't know, a towel. And you got this nigger here shooting down. He's not shooting his slave master. Slave master is there. He's baptizing him. Yeah. One alien baptized with Baphomet hand there, baptizing this nigger. These niggas are in Africa. See that? One only take one guy. He baptized the whole damn village for them. They all become the slaves, and the king bowing people. Not not his people. The king himself there, it seems, bowing to this guy, to Baphomet. That's why you can't trust these Africans. Giving you stories that they both Baphomet. You can't trust them. You know what I'm saying? You have to analyze all of them, where they're coming from, what's their act in this, because they're all not the same people in there. There's a lot of hybrids mixed up and everything. Yeah, and there was these white men then that giving you the, not these white men, these new colonizers that came in, that were black and white. Don't forget that. And mixed. Okay, they call them Arabs, whatever. But it was them that were then writing history. But the history was first written by Rome, or whatever they write, Rome has to approve. And standard. That's how it goes. The Negroes don't contribute no history of their own in here. It's all being drawn by aliens, telling you the Negroes who they are, what they did, or their lifestyle. So it could only come from a reset, as you see. It comes from a reset, a nation of slaves, begging for freedom forever, but never know how. Can you believe that? It's unbelievable. Yeah. Even their boats for this transatlantic slave trade are not explained. These boats don't exist. Have you ever seen them? They don't exist. Don't let them fool you. Okay? If they had these boats, they would keep them for natural museums, so they could make more money on them. Otherwise, there's no boats. They never happen. It's all a story they're giving you of lies. Yeah. Second wave of European colonialism. They came by waves and waves, right? Yeah, I mean, according to how much slaves they were getting and the business were growing, they were coming to you more. It seems. They want you to believe that, this white man is such a devil, that and he's so powerful, that he came out of nowhere and he managed to enslave the whole damn Africa people in one period of time. Conquered them all. He had them all bowing to them, doing what they want. Okay. And the Negroes was just useless. They call them African Negroes. They were all useless slaves. Until this day, they still under the master spell. As you see, the master came with swords. Yeah. And they won. They claim they won their wars. Portuguese coming in, they got balls, but these niggas didn't have balls, right? And the Portuguese coming like a hero in their own country. These niggas should be like millions of them. Like, there will be 2,000 niggas for one of them. How the hell they make this? I don't get it. Even if they had guns and all of that stuff, it wouldn't be enough. Okay, because the niggers are first they are physically stronger, and they will have a means. Even if they had guns, they will make traps. They wouldn't be able because of they would outnumber them too much. Even if they killed a lot, one man can only kill so many people. If there's 1,000 guys rushing on you, you can't kill 1,000 guys like that. And you were not even expecting. You go to the whole Africa with a little boat, and you threaten them. Come on, people. That time, according to their history, there were no jets. There were no like drones, or like if you don't do something, we're gonna drop some bomb over there in your village. You fucked up. No, there was nothing. There was just these dudes coming in a small boat. Yeah, let's say I don't know how many of them will come in one boat, but let's say 1,000 of them. What is big? How many thousands of niggers are in this damn village? In the whole Africa, they could eat these guys alive. He doesn't. They didn't even have to have no weapons to get them. You believe that? They could just stone them because they outnumber them. How can they fight them? They outnumber them like 10 to, I don't know, countless hundreds of times. So how the hell you going to come in with all this authority because you're wearing some little fork, you call a sword, and everybody's, okay, you're holding a gun as well, are you? In this one. And everybody now bowing to you. How you explain that? You are super minority here. Yeah, the African boss will run you over. But this is all fake history. That's why I see all this. I see some red hats out there in the back. This is weird. This one is wearing red as well. So he's telling you snake people here. And these snake people were controlling this, the original people left, and bringing these newcomers in. That's why they had the freeway. See that? He's got orange everything coding, showing you Freemasonry. Now I'm saying how these niggers, Freemason Negro, is a alien. Is an implant. You see that? So they had deals cut with these guys, and these other niggas back there had no idea what's going on, or probably these orange ones were already controlling all the other black niggas out there, and bringing these guys to rule over them, and they all get a cut, of course. So you can't believe nothing these dudes do, man. It's all a fantasy of slavery they sell on you. To these gods that hate, that claim that, they're racist and everything, see that? They always, see that? playing some type of fantasy here, and then involves placing the satanic invader, again, the naked Negroes that don't even have shoe. The whole entire history, people. They show you that they were all savages. Are you not ashamed if you were an African that these motherfuckers, all the pictures they show about Africa are degrading? There's nothing royal. There's nothing real in there. Only degradation, because these are the invaders giving them the story of what they do to them. Besides all this cruelty, the African Americans, they want you to believe that you know this God that they bought on from the from Nibiru, called Jesus Yhwh, and the God of the cross that they gave them. Look at these niggas up there, how they claim they were treating them, but they gave them Jesus. Oh no, now you're good man. I love you, master. But you see here, the guy is dying for water. And motherfucker putting the water far away and playing games. And probably gonna chop his hands off or something. But Jesus will save you. He gave you Jesus, so you gotta believe him that he's a good guy. Because there's nothing to look back for these niggas. There's nothing good. There's nothing. All the whole history, you see them dressed like that, like slaves. What do you expect? They always show them the white man. He's got smart clothing, and these niggas all naked motherfuckers that don't even know how to dress. No shoe, no nothing. Do you believe that? That woman is like, what you see in these African countries that are very poor and there's no resources for them, and they just live in land like, just vegetate without no soul, no means of nothing. But they were going these niggas in slave roads and giving them Jesus all around, as they claim. It made them all African Americans. Motherfuckers all became African Americans after all this humiliation. They're taking their families away in these boats. And all they could do is sit there naked, crying. Look at him. He's only covering a little piece because there's nothing there in this coconut head. Look in there. They're all naked, as I show you. Niggas was too ignorant. Here another picture. The Arabs come all dressed up with shoe, with a turban, with everything. Even white men come up all dressed up. Yeah. They've got even boots and everything. But look at these niggers. All no shoe. And what the fuck is this nigga carrying the American flag back there? It doesn't make no sense to me. With all these 50 states. Is that what you had in there? 50 states. And the nigga carrying the white man around and no shoe or nothing. Was total savage. That's the history they were giving your kids. That's why they think slow. That's why they think they weak. That's what these African Americans psychology will do. That's why I'm not dealing with that, and I'm here to tell you the truth. In standard. You in a standard. And all this slavery bullshit, man. Datings. You can't take none of this for serious. It's all his stories. Okay? When he was abolished, never was abolished. It's a mind slavery that they created. and it's been running forever. And they planning never to abolish. There's no way they can abolish because otherwise they won't have the system that you have today. It's based in slavery, mind slavery. It's based in these niggas thinking they're nothing. They don't know their past. They don't know they need DNA. They need the master that enslaved them for an eternity to now give them their DNA. Can you believe that? But these dudes are only here since 1700. What the hell were their ancestors doing before? And how come they know nothing? There's no landmarks. There's no graves of the ancestors. There's nothing. And the places where where these things are in Africa, there are other nations living in these places that are not Negroes, and they're destroying all these monuments. So where the hell these Negroes think they came from? Because these monuments back there were all created by Negroes that were there, way before the aliens came and claimed these stories. Claim this story. It's all a claim. It doesn't have to happen. But as long as it happens in your mind, if they can put it inside your mind, then it happens. Like everything else, like the ball earth, if they can put it inside your mind, then it's real, right? But it's not real. It's not that. And these guys, man, all they will ever do is lie to you about history. The whole history is bullshit. The more you read, the more pissed off you get. Because you see that nothing makes sense. And you have to come up with your own history. Yeah. Babylon God of law, justice, and salvation. This is all stuff that they put together. That is the beginning of Celtic culture in the Upper Danube region of Central Europe. What the hell you mean the beginning? You see that? It has to do with this Janus, with Yahweh, with Jesus, with the reset. Yeah, that's why they talk about the New World Order, the Upper Danube region of, the beginning, the new beginnings that always have an end. That's what they're talking about. But they're not going to tell you that the Negroes were in all these lands and all these monuments there were constructed by Negroes before these so-called culture, these so-called people came around there with some culture of what were. The Celts migrated to Scotland in 900 BCE, did they? Did they, people? Can anyone confirm that? Okay, I'm waiting. Muhammad receives the first verses of the Quran from the Archangel Gabriel as well. Wow! Gabriel's been busy throughout the Bible and now in the Quran. Ain't that something? 610 BCE, Muslims believe these were God's final messages to mankind. Is it a belief system to you? You believe or you know? They're gonna tell you, we believe. Yeah, because it's a lie. Told you. Believe come with the lie, the word lie. So Muhammad and his followers flee from Mecca to Medina to avoid persecution from non-believers. What were non-believers? The damn Negroes that they show you were stupid and didn't know how to dress. The journey is known as Hijrah, and it's the start of Islamic calendar. They have their own calendar, people. This event was significant because it paved the way for Alexander the Great to conquer India. Really? The political systems of Persia influenced the administration of Mauryan dynasty. Hmm. That's after the destruction of the Tower of Babel. You see these dynasties popping up. You see this new road taking shape of flags and wars and everybody getting a flag, getting a nation, fighting around, creating division everywhere and religions everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because they will prevent. That's how they prevented. Like they tell you in the script that he changed the languages, didn't he? But he's talking about how he changed the languages so much, including the language we speak. They changed it so much that we cannot relate. See what I'm saying? So, what's left? An existence of war and destruction. Because everything is artificial and subtle. So, then he introduces his evil god that is a dictator. They start straight up. So-called Caesar becomes the first dictator in Rome, 45 BCE. Yeah, well, it was a black Rome, right? And Julius Caesar is assassinated on March 15. It's all drama stories of Yhwh sacrifice. That's all it is about. They love to give you this evil history of evil men that did evil and how they get murdered. All the governments throughout the East stories. That's all you're going to witness. That there's an evil governance, and then he get murdered, or you do something really bad and kill, genocide a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of them throughout history. From Napoleon, all of them that they show you, they tell you he was a terrible guy, but he was a great man. He built us. He brought us together. Without him, we wouldn't have what we have today. But he was a beast, and they killed him, and everything. But the glory of what he gave them. Does it make sense to you? Hmm? And they got this new Byzantine Empire. All aliens. If you ask me, I would say the whole aliens. The whole Byzantine Empire would not look like that. Hold on. The Byzantine Empire was mainly comprised of area of small towns and seaports connected by a developed infrastructure. Production was very high, and there was a notable growth in land ownership. See that? So they go taking lands because these lands already had infrastructures, and they were competing about which lands and who's taking lands and lords, and because it was a big business. They were coming in. There were lots of lands with houses built, massive castles. Everything is the water structure were there, the shower, the swimming pools, everything was there, and the dudes were just taking. And it's their empire, whatever how they got it. If the aliens dropped something on them, but they don't want to tell you, and then they came in. From AD 500 to AD 1200, Byzantium was the wealthiest nation. It was not that far ago. They're just making these stories. Okay? Because these dudes, when they came, they found all of that, and then they just took over. And then give you stories of 1,200 years. Get out of here. Portuguese started the slave trade in Africa by capturing their first 12 slaves, people. Ain't that something? That they captured only 12 slaves. Like 12 tribes of Israel, like the 12 pillars, like the 12 apostles, like 12 months of the year. It's all Freemasonry people. That's what Portuguese. They work for the church. So when they tell you something and you have eyes to see, you see that it's coded. So it's BS. Here in 1452 BS, African slaves are put to work for the first time on sugar cane plantation in Madeira, an island of Portugal. This was the beginning of the sugar slaves complex. It started the sugar industry's reliance on slaves for mass production. So, who gave Portugal, the Portuguese, this island? It was an island that was there, and the Portuguese took it. But who was living there before they took the place and decided to put these niggers working there for nothing? Well, the case that the niggers were already there, like in America, and they telling you that they put them there. It's all bullshit. They colonized them and took their lands. That's what they did in Portugal with these niggers that were there before. And then gave you the stories of Moors and all these other hybrids that they created. Martin Luther, oh no, posts his 95 thesis in Wittenberg, Germany in 1517. It was in response to the abuse from the Roman Catholic Church. Really? And his name was Martin Luther as well? Ain't that some coincidence? You think it's a coincidence? Then you gotta go back to study. That's it, man. Look, I think we're done here in this page. But as I was telling you guys, man, do not fall for that foolery, historical lies that niggers were all forever slaves. Yeah, and beggars and losers that owned no land, didn't know what to do with the land, didn't grow nothing, didn't know how to defend themselves. It's all history that they lied to you. Okay? That's all I want you to know in this video. That there are people that came from other realms and they wrote these stories to fool us, but we're not that stupid to be fooled. See what I mean? So, besides all that, all you see these niggas doing is praising Jesus. Can you believe that? That's why they call them, well, they're not 2 feet, they're not even half human. They're hybrids. Master slave beat them, enslave them, do everything, but motherfuckers still praying for a God that is killing him. Does it make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. I love you all. I hope you are following my what I'm thinking and what I'm telling you, and evolve from that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need to open our chakras, open the third eye, and see all the way through them. Because it's nothing but Freemasonry, putting up the whole history that you believe. That's it, man. I love you all. Keep the instructions. Peace.